You're listening to the national sports radio station on Spreaker.com.
Kane is in the building.
Welcome back into the Long Beach State men's basketball season preview show right here on Spreaker.com's own national sports. Chris Sylvester here with you like I always am on the Long Beach State men's basketball show. 49ers, they get it rolling. Finally, the season amongst us here. Long Beach State at BYU, Friday, November 14th. 4 days from now. 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. Let's get it rolling. Going to be a tough game. BYU, it's a legitimate college basketball atmosphere out there. And for BYU, I'm sure they're chomping at the bit to get this season underway as well. Especially their fans, because their football team has not lived up to the hype that they were supposed to have this season. I think a lot of people pick their football team to go undefeated and potentially go to a New Year's Day bowl or even have a chance to get into the playoff, but their quarterback broke his leg, and I think they're not even at 500 as of right now. I don't know. This is a college basketball show. I don't even know why I brought that up. I mean, this is national sports radio, so, football is a sport, right? BYU fans, though, that place is going to be rocking. The Marriott Center is what they call it. Probably not as cool as the Pyramid, but it'll do. A guy that Long Beach State hopes won't have a field day is Tyler Haws. He's now a senior. He averaged 23.2 points per game last season. He shot 40% from beyond the arc, 46% from the field overall. And to go along with that, he averaged 4 rebounds and 2 assists as well. In his sophomore season, averaged 21.7 points per game. So this is a guy that has some serious NBA potential. He's a mere few points away, I think. I don't know, I have the numbers in front of me, but you guys remember Jimmer Fredette, who put up ridiculous numbers at BYU about 4 or 5 years ago, and Fredette now in the NBA. I think he was last time I checked. You guys remember Jimmer. All the hype around Jimmer Fredette. Well, this guy is slated, if he can stay healthy throughout the entire season and score like he has been the last 2 years. This is a guy that will break Jimmer Fredette's record as far as points scored at Brigham Young University, better known as BYU. So, this is a guy that Long Beach State has to contain. He's 6'5", 200 pounds. How are we going to stop him? Who's guarding him? You'd assume that the starting lineup, because as I did not mention yet, but I think the majority of us know, A.J. Spencer, he's out for the season, torn ACL. You'd assume that the lineup would be Mike Caffey, obviously, at point guard. All-conference preseason selection. Tyler Lamb at shooting guard, of course. I think you'd put Travis Hammonds at the small forward spot. He's a gamer. Only played half the year last year, but was mighty impressive. And then you have David Samuels at power forward, who supposedly improved in the offseason. And along with David Samuels down in the paint, Eric McKnight at center. So a solid starting lineup. Branford Jones off the bench. Charles Lockett figures to get some minutes off the bench, along with the 4 freshmen, Bibbins, North, Williams, Yusuf. Gonna be a battle. Gonna be a dogfight Friday night. Do I think Long Beach is gonna pull it out? No, I don't. To be honest with you, I think that's a tough environment to go into first game of the season. Long Beach, apparently in their closed secret scrimmages, apparently they walloped Arizona State, then lost to the University of San Diego, not SDSU, USD, the Toreros, out of the WCC. So they played all right in their scrimmages. But off the bat, it's going to be a tough environment to play in. I think maybe, halfway through the season, if Long Beach State were to go play at BYU, maybe I'd give Long Beach State a better shot at winning this game as far as my prediction goes. But, to open up, I just don't see it happening. These guys, a lot of these guys battle-tested, but a lot of these guys aren't battle-tested. Travis Hammond's participated in 2-3 non-conference games last year. Mike Caffey, he's been through it. It won't be too big of a stage for him. Same goes for Tyler Lamb and Eric McKnight and David Samuels, but you're going to have 4 freshmen potentially if they all play, all making their Division I debut in a regular season game, and it's tough. Do I think Long Beach State can give BYU a good game? Yes. I hope they do. I hope they don't get blown out. Can they get blown out? Yeah. BYU's a good basketball team. They're receiving votes in the AP and coaches poll for the top 25 in college basketball. So it's a solid team. BYU is a good basketball program. They're a good team. Can Long Beach State beat them? Yes, but I don't see it happening. As for the home opener for Long Beach State against Division II opponent San Francisco State, for whatever reason, it seems like we always get a Division II team in for homecoming, and that's because it's really hard to convince a Division I team to come open up on the road. What Long Beach is doing this year, something they haven't done in a long time. So Long Beach State, they'll beat the San Francisco Gators, and you'll look at a 1-1 mark, in my opinion. Hopefully 2-0, that'd be awesome. But 1-1, heading into Xavier on November 18th, next Tuesday. And we'll have a show before then, after the pair of games this weekend. So back-to-back, you play at BYU Friday at 4, and then San Francisco State at home opener, homecoming, Saturday at 4 as well. So I think Long Beach State will split those two and, of course, win the Division II game. It's going to be a tough one at BYU. I think you want to believe that Long Beach State is going to win that game, but I wouldn't put any type of money on it. Not to say that I'm an expert when it comes to Viva Las Vegas or anything like that, but it's going to be a tough game. It is. And it's just unfortunate that you got to open up in a tough environment like that to start the season. But in a sense, it'll help better prepare you for that road game against Xavier, the road game against UCLA, and then the plethora of road games at SDSU, at Texas, at St. John's, at Syracuse, at Louisville. Back to back to back to back to back. Throw Stephen F. Austin on there too. They're a tough team. They beat Long Beach State a couple of years ago. Not too sure what to expect out of the team this year. It's hard to know how the chemistry is going to be. It's hard to know with the new offensive system that Munson implemented. And it's going to be difficult knowing whether or not Eric McKnight is really going to be all that solid down in the post. So, best case scenario, Long Beach can win that game at BYU win the game against San Francisco at home and go into Xavier with a boatload of momentum on Tuesday. I just don't see it happening. We'll see, though, Friday. Can't wait. I don't even think that game's on TV, though, so I'll have to find an illegal site to go watch it on. Because that's how much of a fanatic I am, per se. As far as the other Big West teams opening up their season on Friday, you think we have a tough one against BYU. How about UCSB traveling to number 5 Kansas and CSUN traveling to number 16 San Diego State? Both those teams probably going to get walloped. It'll be interesting to see what UCSB looks like. See what Al Williams looks like against some legitimate Division I competition. The rest of the games, UCI opens up against Division III Chapman. Really? Come on, UCI. UCI does go to Arizona, who's number 2, though, in the nation, I think the following week. So best of luck to the Anteaters in that one. Cal State Fullerton, they open up on the road at Santa Clara. And then Hawaii, the debacle. I guess we're just going to refer to Hawaii as the debacle because that's the direction their program's headed in. Poor Hawaii. Fired their coach, Gib Arnold. The assistant coach has gone to Isaac Fotu, who played on the New Zealand national team in the summer for the Men's Basketball World Cup. He's gone. He decided to forego his last couple of seasons at Hawaii and go play professionally overseas. Really talented big man, but he was ineligible due to, I think, some type of NCAA violation. I don't know. Hawaii's just a mess right now. But they'll open up their season on Friday as well. They'll host Arkansas Pine Bluff, and I'd be surprised if Hawaii wins that game. I mean, look at everything they lost, their coach and everything that's going on at their program. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Hawaii this year. I think Long Beach State has no excuse but to do what they did last year, and that's take 2 out of 2 from Hawaii and 3 out of 3 if they see them in the conference tournament at the Honda Center in March. Trent Schlom, a broadcaster for men's basketball in the Big West on ESPN3. He will join us on the other side of this break. You're listening to the Long Beach State Men's Basketball Show, Season Preview Edition on Spreaker.com's own National Sports. We'll be right back.
Your presentation of National Sports is brought to you by Spreaker.com. Broadcast and listen to news, radio, and music with one low monthly rate. Your show will be right back after this word from your local stations. You can contact National Sports in a number of ways through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter with the label National Sports. We love to have you guys a part of our show and can easily join us also through text or call. You're listening to the National Sports radio station on Spreaker.com.
Welcome back to the Long Beach State Men's Basketball Season Preview Show right here on Spreaker.com/National Sports. Let's talk some Big West. Irvine won the regular season title last year, but as we all know, in the Big West, the regular season title doesn't mean a whole lot unless you get excited for the NIT. I mean, I do, but not everybody does. At the end of the day, it's all about winning 3 games in 3 days at the Honda Center in March. Cal Poly, as the number 7 seed, as we all know, did it last season. They went dancing before getting walloped by Wichita State in round 2 of the NCAA tournament. It's Big West men's basketball. Anything can happen. We welcome in Trent Schlom, broadcaster for the Big West on ESPN3. You heard my mini rant right there, if you want to call it that. Before we go in depth on what the conference might look like this coming season, what a wacky finish to last season, Trent. Cal Poly to the NCAA tournament. Who drew that up?
It was unreal. Look, a 7 seed gets in. Who would have thought they would spank UC Santa Barbara like they did in that opening round, and then for them to go all the way, had a couple of real close games, and they got some fortuitous calls that went their way. So It was quite a run. It was exciting for Cal Poly.